guys, this is the May 2015 update of the Palms Buffet, and I am updating the buffets that have traditionally been on our website hailed as the best for one reason or the other. For example, the Palms Buffet has been for the last 2 or 3 years one of the best because it serves decent food at really affordable prices. However, 2015 has marked a change in so many buffets, and all for the worst. All for the worst. So I'm reviewing starting from the best quote-unquote buffets and then going to the other ones that weren't that great to begin with. Okay, so there are changes with Palms as well, and it's still worth coming here if you're in the area. If you're staying at Gold Coast, for example, it's still worth coming to eat here if you are budget oriented and you want to eat a little better than what you would eat at Gold Coast. But there are changes, and some people will be thrilled, others not so much. But the decline, I wouldn't call it a decline actually. It's just a change. With Palms, at least, the change is just a change. It's not a decline. So let's start from something that's changed quite a bit, which is the beginning, really. Oh, first of all, if this is your first time, look at this. This is the only buffet that I know of, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because I might have forgotten, that actually serves deep plates. Deep plates. Now you can actually have a deep plate. Very handy for curries and other things. Now, it's always busy, and it's a relatively small buffet. I'm going to go back and show you the main, well, the only eating area. It's a relatively small buffet, but it's very packed. It's very popular with locals. One change, there you go, another change. This is not for the better. That now if you have your player's card, you will no longer automatically get the discount. You will only be able to, sorry guys, I've just eaten. You're only going to be able to get the discount if you have points on your player's card. So forget about your player's card if you don't play here, and just pay, which is a modest amount compared to all the other buffets, you know, and given that it's not bad at all, $15 for lunch. Now let's start anyway. I'm trying not to shake too much. Sorry if I do, guys. I try not to. So the salad station was always one of the best. It's declined a little bit, but many of you, well, some of you don't care about salads. The problem is they no longer have the ready-made Caesar salad that I liked so much. It was so tasty. And now you basically have to do it yourself. And as you guys know, you just can't do it yourself unless you have amazing ingredients. But there are ways in which you can do something. So you've got your regular greens, and what you can do, you add these. You had the little tomatoes with the mozzarella pieces. It already adds flavor. The rest is really run-of-the-mill. They used to have tabbouleh, and that's gone, which is really sad because it was one of the best. Go ahead, please. And you've got your regular run-of-the-mill salad toppings, and that's North American, okay? Because if you're from Europe, you don't know what these are, because you know that there's some sort of vegetables, but you don't eat them with salad. At least Southern Europe, okay? All right, anyway, let's move on. Your usual salad toppings. I'm gonna let the gentleman go through, because as I say, it's really, really busy. And I like to take my time. So here, I mean, what do you think about the various messed up labeling? It's actually okay, but some of it's not labeled. Some things I didn't know what they were, and I had to ask, and they still didn't know. But they don't care because it's so busy. Locals flock here all the time, so it doesn't matter. And I'm noticing they're having artichokes and mushrooms, which is an odd combination. I like artichokes by themselves. So anyway, what you could do, these are your run-of-the-mill toppings. You find them at every North American buffet with these, some of them fattening dressings. And what I do, this is a new, you have ready-made little, in the style of the Win, ready-made little salads such as Greek salad and Caesar salad. And what I have done to make my lettuce a bit more flavorful is I prepared it and then I added the contents of these glasses. I'm speaking like a 3-year-old, guys. And I just came from Mexico too, so my English is even worse. But for those who wonder, I'm actually of Italian origin. So, there you go. There's another language thrown in, plus a little bit of German, because I studied that, and French. I don't know what language I'm speaking right now. Okay, so you just add the contents of those glasses, the ready-made little salads, and they are actually very flavorful. Let's move on. Tomato soup, so-so. It just tasted like it came from a can. Chicken noodle soup, and nothing special. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't homemade. You've got your little breads. Can you see? Oh, yeah, you've got a couple of types. Garlic bread, very hard. You got to dip it in your soup, but it's not liquid enough. And your Mexican station, it's been the same forever, so this section here has not changed. The Mexican station in this area has not changed at all, and it's pretty run-of-the-mill. This, have you noticed? They've added this little metal dishes. It's very popular now. I think Wynn started, more or less, and you have it at Bacchanal, And the idea is, I guess, that you don't eat as much, you don't pile it on and then leave it on the plate. And also, it looks a little gourmet, doesn't it? And in a way, I think that's a good idea. Now, the beef enchiladas, I'm going to let this lovely couple go through. The beef enchiladas, I tried it, and it was not so good. And what I mean by that is please go ahead. Okay, so I'm starting again from this section. So, as I was saying, it looks very nice and pretty presented this way. Sometimes you eat with your eyes as well. Okay, pork hustle and beef enchilada. What I was trying to say about the beef enchilada is that the tortilla was actually very flavorful, but I didn't like the sauce. It was very, bland, but it's not even bland. It just didn't taste right. Chicken teriyaki. If you mix it with the teriyaki sauce here, it's actually quite good, delicious if you like chicken. I'm very fussy with regards to chicken. I usually, when I do, I eat free-range organic. This is not. So it's run-of-the-mill chicken, but in terms of the way it's being prepared and dressed, it's actually quite flavorful. Vegetable spring rolls, there were no vegetables in there. Vegetable chow mein and sweet and sour pork. Can you see it? Eggplant in garlic sauce. You know what? I forgot to try this. I'm gonna have to try this. So I don't know what this tastes like, okay? But I've tried everything else. I don't know why I didn't try it. Beef chow mein. Usually the chow mein dishes in the Asian section here at Palms are usually very delicious, and although I would say overall the Palms buffet still is very strong on flavor, they really serve flavorful dishes. They're not bland. Very rarely are they bland. The beef chow mein, which was very flavorful, I thought it was a little bit too soy. It tasted a little bit too much like soy and not enough of delicate Asian flavors. Now, the pizzas, it's always a disappointment, right? Pizza station. I'm Italian. This is disappointing. The only one that you can have that it's decent, I think, is a Bellagio. It's a little heavy though, eh? The one at Wynn looks good, but it doesn't taste very flavorful. I'm gonna get out of your way again.
So what magazine are you?
I decided to go back and try, and so I can tell you. The eggplant in garlic sauce, it's more like of an Asian style dish. I'm used to eating eggplant in a Mediterranean way, so I didn't like it at all. And I still think that from an Asian point of view, I think it's average. And I've eaten better. But it's okay, they're still there, it's flavorful. What I mean is that they still tried so hard to make it really flavorful, so none of it is bland. So I was talking about the pizzas. This white pizza is actually very tasty, as healthy as it's not. So yeah, I mean, Baby Bellagio buffet is a little better, though heavy. And Wynn, win looks really good, but it never really tasted that good. Now, shepherd's pie, again, what a delightful idea, right? I had it and it tasted fine, but I couldn't find the meat or the fish. You know, shepherd's pie usually has meat or fish depending. So 6 out of 10. Chicken marsala, spaghetti pomodoro, which are swimming in water. Again, tastes flavorful, but they shouldn't be swimming in water. But then again, some of you may really like it this way. Fish croquette salmon. I don't know if it's Atlantic or Pacific. I like Atlantic, you know that, right? Especially these days. Fish Florentine, many people have liked it a lot. I think it's fine. You have to add a lot of sauce on top to make it flavorful. Thai beef curry. You know, they used to have a lot of delicious curries here at Palms, but they have really reduced the numbers and now they have just the one. What I do is I take the actual sauce and I add it to all my vegetables. But actually it's very flavorful, even as is. And then you've got sauteed squash and zucchini, steamed black mussels, and I'm going to let the lady through now, because I'm talking too much. And so as I say, you will not say, oh, it's bad. None of it is bad. It's very flavorful. And you have to also bear in mind the price, which is now, as I said, even with the changes, it's $15 for lunch. And given that all buffets, well, not all, but many buffets have gone up in prices for reasons that is beyond me, since they have not gone up in quality, it's still a decent deal. And I can't, the meat, none of it, it's all very hot, steamy hot. This is unlike the Mirage where I was yesterday. That was also cold. I mean, can you believe it, Mirage with cold food? The food here is steaming hot. The plates are piping hot. The metal, yes, plates where they are served, they're steaming hot. No, thank you. And I've eaten it already, and it's nicely presented. Here again, they've removed some of those lovely Thai curries that I love so much, and they've added your good old American food, brown gravy. It is all fine. It's all fine. And by that I mean 7 out of 10, I guess. 6, 7 out of 10. Then they've got this nice tasty Mongolian Grill, which is like, oh yeah, Mongolian Grill, what a surprise. You know, they have it at Gold Coast just next door. But I guess there's a lot of demand, and you know, and I suppose they try and provide what people ask for, especially catering to so many locals, you know. So cooked to order Mongolian Grill, it's actually very well done. They have nice, very nice sauces that they add. So, you know, I mean, it looks bland and you think, oh my God, another one. But it actually is tasty. And then you can always put some curry sauce on top. That's what I do. Now, this is a very popular new section. Again, presenting those tiny little mini plates, beef sliders. I have to admit, the beef slider, whoa, I'm sorry. I just stepped on somebody's toes behind me. Okay. It's so packed. The beef sliders are actually good. And I wouldn't say that they're worse than Bellagio. And I've eaten them at Bellagio many times. So, yeah, I mean, I think now there's a little bit of a quieter time, thank God, because so I can actually move a little bit. But I've seen people piling them on, and I had 2 of them myself. So that says something. And by that, if you want to know, the meat is well cooked, flavorful. Oh yes, and those crisps are actually from real potatoes, and you can still see the skin. Very, very, and a little bit thick as well. So very well done. I mean, the healthier. Macaroni and cheese, nicely presented. Green bean casserole and dirty rice, mixed rice. Fried chicken and beef ribs. So the change has been a heavier choice of quote-unquote American dishes, North American dishes, American dishes. And then you've got your fruit, very small section, and to be honest, not the best, but it wasn't terrible. I have not tasted bread pudding yet. With whiskey sauce and blueberry sauce, and then your small dessert section at the end. You don't come to Palms for the dessert section, obviously, right? For that, you go to the nearby Rio buffet. They have massive dessert section. Whether you like it or not is a different story, because you can have 1,000 of these, for example, and they're all average, right? Because ultimately many average buffets, they actually get all of these from the same providers. I don't know that for a fact, but from what they taste like. I like touches, like for example when you go to Treasure Island, the TI buffet, they make some things themselves, and it makes a huge difference. The M buffet, they make some things themselves and they have something unique. Well, you won't find this here, okay? Nonetheless, you're not supposed to have that many foods. All right, let's go. Now here, as I told you many times, they used to have this amazing cappuccino section, gone, and now they have the run-of-the-mill. You find it everywhere. Ice cream, soft serve. You know, and having come from Mirage, I tell you, this is exactly what they now have at Mirage. Wow, that's a great change, isn't it, for Mirage? I'm being sarcastic. Forgive me for that. I don't like sarcasm, and here I am. So there have been changes at Palms. According to what you particularly favor, you may be disappointed a little bit, but in terms of flavor, you are not going to be disappointed, because everything is very flavorful. So, and if you like good old American stuff, then you got your macaroni and cheese, nicely presented. You've got your shepherd's pie. They have to remember to put some meat at the end, or fish. And you've got your sliders, you've got your ribs. So you don't have anything like crab legs for lunch, or you don't have even shrimps. You know, and they haven't had it for a long time. I mean, after all, this is a very affordable buffet, even with the price increase and even with the change that now you have to actually play here to get a discount. And they've done it because there's so many people used to get just the card and then get the discount and not actually play. I'm here justifying things. I shouldn't. I should be thinking of you and your pockets. So there you go. I mean, when you come here, I tell you, you will not go away, walk out thinking, oh, what the hell did I eat? What on earth did I eat? Everything is flavorful, and you don't even mind even going for second or third. In fact, I might actually, although I am full, go for something, because it's so flavorful and you almost get addicted to that strong spice and flavor. So here you go, guys. I mean, is it still a place to come? I mean, do you have to come all the way here? No, of course not, you know. If you happen to stay at Palms, if you happen to stay at Gold Coast, or even Orleans, they have a shuttle that will bring you here. I mean, this could be a really interesting change, and if you really are strapped for cash over the weekend and you want to eat at a buffet, this is a good alternative, because the weekend here, it's always significantly cheaper than on the Strip. And well, you know, but I mean, I still am waiting to eat at a buffet that blows my mind again, like they used to. Of course, I still have to go back to Bacchanal, you know. But there's always, I notice with Vegas, and I've done this many times over the years, there's always a wave of complacency whereby buffets say, oh, well, we're just gonna cut corners. Maybe they lose a good chef, maybe they lose a good sous chef. And that could be the case of a couple of buffets that I have just reviewed. But I'm showing you the wall, guys. Sorry. And, you know, so you have to always understand that there are these transitions. But, and also, you know, there has to be quality control, management, quality control. And quality control comes from people, chefs, coming out and actually taking the time to taste and making sure that everything that comes out from the kitchen is as good as it was 3 months ago, you know. And Mirage was very good at that. They stopped, and now things have gone downhill very fast. It's amazing how if you just don't have quality control, things really just are not that good. They just completely decline in quality, texture, everything. I'm going to leave you now. I've talked enough, and I think I've stepped on a couple of people's feet. I'm really sorry about that. It's getting calmer though, so I just wanted to give you an overall look again. And oh yes, by the way, and the casino is just there. I like the fact that it's all rather small and you can walk out of here really quickly, go to the casino really quickly. Nice and compact, so to speak. Anyway, further updates, because we are writing in detail. It's going to take us a little bit of videos that hopefully you will find interesting, and then you will come and visit us on our website to read more or ask us questions. Okay guys, well, this was the Palms Buffet for lunch, and if you don't know where Palms is and how to get here, we talk about that on top-buffet.com. If you have time, there are shuttles that can bring you here. It's really relatively easy, but even the shuttles, they change where they stop all the time. It's amazing how that happens. I mean, maybe it's just keep... I've had it 3 times. Well, just help me.
You know what else was extremely good? The little sliders.
Yes.
They had good flavor. They weren't over seasoned, but just enough. And the little crunch on the bottom of
That's good. Oh, I agree with you. So you see, you have good days. Thank you. There's a lovely lady over there. She was lovely. She said, she gave me her opinion. And I like you guys when you do that, okay? Please come and stop me and tell me your opinion. And she agrees with me completely. Okay, guys, this was Palms. Have a wonderful, wonderful time. And hopefully, this has been of use. But there's a lot more that's coming. And if you want to check our older videos, by all means do so. Some things have stayed exactly the same, and we have not reviewed them for that reason. We go in, we try them, they stay the same, and we go out because we have a limited time and we want to review as much as possible, especially those things that used to be the best and no longer the best, or vice versa, and also doing things that we haven't done before. So see you on top-buffet.com, guys. Bye-bye.